What is going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be talking about TAM. And so that's your total addressable market. Can also be, it's a little bit different than your ICP. Your ICP is your ideal customer profile. Now, when we talk about that, when we talk about building out leads lists, I think a lot of people only focus on the ICP and not the TAM. So ideally, yes, you'd love to only work with people that you love working with. Now, where that can come into factor is A, you need to work with more people to make more money, and B, not everybody, even if you email them and you think they're perfect, think that you are really even worth their time in the first place. So, how we can address that is by increasing our actual TAM to not just be our ideal customer profile, but people that we know that we can help that also may just want our services in general. So, let's say you like working with, since earlier today I was working with somebody, they like working with plumbers and home services. So, you come over in the list kit, your ideal customer profile is plumbers and they are working in the US and you want them to only have like 1 to 50 employees max, you know, so that they're not too big. That makes a lot of sense, but you want them to only really offer plumbing services. So, plumber, toilet installation, right? Toilet repair. What else do plumbers do? Pipe replacement, pipe repair, sink installation. Right. You got a lot of different things that you can add in on the plumbing side. You can also exclude things. So if you're an SEO or a marketing service, marketing, right? Advertising. You're one of these services, and this is what you offer marketing advertising. You can always exclude these keywords and these types of things as well. So you just want to work with them. And then you go over to the people side and you add in who you're looking to work with. Now, one way to always address and add to your TAM is to talk with multiple people at the jobs, right? So you want to talk with, let's say, of course, you want to talk to decision makers. A lot of the times in a lot of these companies, the first meeting that you get with these people may not be with the owner or the founder because they're busy. So they may just have like their office manager answer a lot of the actual emails that come in. And then if it makes sense, then they can do that. They sometimes have like a head of operations, right? That handles a lot of the day-to-day stuff within the office. They may just have like a marketing manager. They probably won't have a director, but they may have a manager, Susan, who handles all of that stuff, right? If you're doing the marketing and you do advertising. So they'll pull in the owner, the founder, whatever, on the second meeting. Like, it's not that big of a deal. The first meeting that you have can be with somebody within the organization, and then you can just have a second meeting with the actual owner, founder, whomever on there. That's how it works with a lot of the bigger companies as well, especially if they're doing decent amount of revenue. The owner is busy doing other things, growing the business that may not have to do with answering a cold email about SEO, right? If that makes sense. So you can add in other people as well that can increase your TAM, sure. But let's say this is your ideal customer profile, right? You wanted to add in these people, you go over to data visualization, then you see the type of industries that probably make the most amount of sense for you. And so construction would make sense, consumer services as well, and then facility services. Let's say those are the three that you're doing. So construction, consumer services, facility services, facility services as well. And now this is a really niche down list. And you, let's say you have 2K, right? You just scrape in 2K. And this is what you really wanted to work with this type of company size and just plumbers. And you're like, well, this is only going to last me a month. You're like, yeah, right. So what we can do, we can add in more job titles as opposed to just these five. You can get rid of the specific industries if you'd like, but I probably wouldn't necessarily recommend that. You can get rid of the employee count size. So if you can work with larger companies, if you can help them on SEO on a smaller scale, you can probably help them on a larger scale and they'll probably pay you more money. So you can get rid of that as well to help increase your TAM. And or you can also, which is probably going to have the biggest return, get rid of just working with plumbers. Like if you can help plumbers and you can help them generate more positive leads or positive book calls or whatever through SEO, through cold calling, through cold through ads, whatever your mechanism is for them to make more money, why would landscape companies not like use that to like why could you not help roofers do the same thing? Does that make sense? So you can add in those people get rid of that. And so I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same industries, but it's fine. So we can also, then you can save that list, right? And then you could go in and do another one. You could do roofing. You could do roofer. You could do roof repair, roof installation, right? Shingles installation. Because if you just put shingles, that is also a disease. So if you just put in shingles, you may get some like hospitals or something like that. So installation is probably the best bet for that. And then you can do other things around roofing as well. But this immediately increases your TAM. And it's an adjacent industry to what you were already doing. This isn't like you're going from plumbers to all of a sudden you're doing e-com stores or something like that. It's like what is close enough to the actual industry that you have. And so we also have something which is fun in the chat called Fin AI. And if you go in here, you can ask a question. You say, hey, chat. We have real people behind these as well. But this is just, we also have a bot. And then if you want to talk to real people, you can talk to real people. But if you just have questions for Fin AI, hey, chat, I'm targeting roofing companies. But I want to target industries like those companies. What are some similar businesses that I can work with? Give me a list of 10, please. And so the chat's going to come up. Okay, you're targeting roofing companies. I think there were some misspellings in there, but it's fine. Okay. General contractors, home renovation. Okay, right, great. So we did roofing. Oh, what would you look at? Plumbing services popped up. So if you did plumbing, roofing would probably pop up too. You also have HVAC. You have electrical services, which makes a lot of sense. Landscaping companies. You have painting services. You have general contractors. So I don't know if necessarily general contractors, you're probably going to get that many people. You may get a lot of self-employed people, which if you want, you can work with them too as well. They may or may not have like necessarily a business email though. They may just have like bobcontractor@gmail.com. So we may or may not be able to help fulfill that service. And it may not be as many people as you would think because of that. So, but you have you have a litany, you have like 8 other people you can choose from. So you can do home renovation, you can do siding installation, pavement, concrete, those types of things. You can do things, gutter installation. None of these things that I type in, all of these things you can find though that are adjacent, that you can look up the exact same amount of people. But if you have 2,500 people for each and every single one of these, times that by 10, quick math, that's 25,000 people that you could reach out to. Right? So if you only have plumbing for this, we always add to our database, A, and B, you have other people that you can also target that are relatively similar. You may have to adjust the email copy, right? Okay, to make it actually look and seem like that's who you're trying to target, and you're not just targeting everybody specifically or everybody broadly, and you are actually targeting them individually. That's fine. So yeah, that's how I would look to actually increase the TAM. You can do it by job title. You can do it by getting rid of total employee count if you wanted to. You could come over into our chat and just ask, hey, what are like 10 similar businesses to the ones that I'm reaching out to? And then it'll give you a list of 10 that are very similar. And if you only have 2,500 with this specific industry or this specific company, and then you have 2,500 with another and 2,500 with another and 2,500 with another, you have 2K, you're doing that per month. Great. If you have 5K, then you probably, instead of having 25,000, which will last you 10 months, it'll last you 5 months or something like that, which is still great because we're always adding to our database and you can reach out to more people that may be more willing to even look into your service, right? So maybe plumbing isn't necessarily looking for that right now, but HVAC services, they're like, yeah, this is our peak season right now. This is when we're looking to actually solve this. You just never know unless you reach out to them. But that's how I will go about increasing my TAM.